Malnutrition can come in four forms: normal, which is normal weight and height for age; wasting, which is low weight for height; stunting, which is low height for age; and underweight, which is low weight for age, which you can see in the diagram in the slide. What is considered to be a nutritious meal? A nutritious meal is considered to be a meal with veggies and fruits, whole grains, which provide nutrients like fiber, dairy, such as milk, and a protein, such as lean beef, pork, or chicken. What does the United States consider to be a nutritious meal? The United States mostly uses standards like mentioned in the previous slide. We base it off something called My Plate, which is a visual representation of how to portion each type of food on your plate to get the right amount of nutrients in order to stay healthy and grow. It is hard to say exactly what everyone eats each day, but most people who suffer from malnutrition and poverty usually eat all they can eat in one single day for something that is equivalent to about $1.90. Most people would eat some sort of grain such as rice, but nothing with much nutritional value, but just something to fill their stomachs. Poverty is defined as not having enough material possessions or income for a person's basic needs. Some common causes of poverty include not having proper access to clean water, inequality, poor education, little to no access to jobs, and so on. Poverty and malnutrition go hand in hand because something that can be difficult to do is balance buying healthy food and staying on budget. But it can especially be hard for someone who can't afford to buy food for everyone in their family for 7 days a week and keep everyone full. To continue that, in a case where a family member loses their job, much of their usual budget is also shifted. This could include taking out certain foods that they usually buy at the grocery store, which sometimes happens to be healthier food because it was replaced with lower cost foods such as rich starches and added sugar. A major issue we have with malnutrition and poverty is that it targets younger kids who grow up in this environment, and then it continues into their adulthood. Another large group this affects is pregnant and breastfeeding women, for obvious reasons since they are feeding two people. Malnutrition does not only stunt one's growth, but it also can cause major health problems now and in the future. These health problems include decreased mobility, difficulty breathing, respiratory failure, dementia, depression, loss of neurons in the brain, and kidney failure, and so on. We should also worry about how malnutrition and poverty affects an individual because they contribute to society as well. Most of them have families that rely on them for food and shelter, and if this cycle continues, then most of these individuals will continue to live like this for generations. People who suffer from poverty and who are malnourished are affected every single day for every single second until they get the proper care or a constant source of money and food. If you are hungry, this affects you constantly, and everyone knows that, and can impair how you do your job, interact with other people, how you treat your family, etc. In Watauga County, our poverty rate is 28.3% of the population. 70% of the children in the western section of the county are receiving reduced or free lunches. They most likely have either had to receive government assistance or food stamps in their families. When there are high amounts of poverty and malnutrition, this increases healthcare costs due to the increase of health issues in our population. It also affects the government by creating a slow economic growth, which also attributes to fewer adults being able to work, which creates a cycle of poverty and economic issues. Malnutrition is a serious public health issue for people because this increases the rate of mortality, which seems to be a trending cycle that is hard to stop. Public health tries to protect and to prevent injuries and diseases from affecting people all over the world in any state. Poverty is a public health issue because many people who are in poverty are usually less educated, which can result in a poor work environment that they are in. This can also result in a higher risk to develop an illness, an injury, or later a disability. Many governments are pairing up with each other and other companies to make ready-to-use therapeutic foods, which are supposed to be nutrient-rich, peanut butter-based pastes and biscuits that have high concentrations of protein and energy. They have also been creating and advancing agriculture technology. We should care about this issue because our neighbors, families, and friends are suffering, but also malnutrition and poverty are expensive for the global economy, and more money is being put into health care to care for these people and their injuries, disabilities, and illnesses. As an individual, it is hard to say what impact you will have because these issues are on such a wide and broad scale. But some things you can do are donating to food pantries, making sure your friends and family are fed well and educated on proper nutrition. One way we can help as a community to attempt to fix malnutrition from a poverty standpoint is free or reduced lunches at school, food drives, food and nutrition programs such as food stamps, and educating each other on proper nutrition. It is hard to come together to tackle poverty and malnutrition as a nation because many people have different views on these subjects. I think the nation needs to build a reliable and sustainable food system so that we can feed everyone properly, invest in nutrition and health programs to educate more people on the benefits of healthy and balanced eating, and so much more.